Hello, Floss Tube. It is December 24th, about 8:30 in the morning, and we are settling in for Christmas here in Colorado. Hope you grabbed your favorite cross-stitch project. Let's get some work done here. I am working on my Ronnie Rowe piece. Which one is this? MarketSquare Tavern? I always forget which one. By the way, hold on, I'm going to adjust this. This is falling off. Went and picked up a bunch of projects from Michael's yesterday. So, I got the other Ronnie Rowe done. And have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God Save the Queen is done. Hold on a second here. Got that caught under there. Can I get that out? Can I save it? Ah! Alright, let me just redo this. Picked up like 5 projects yesterday. A couple of them are gifts. So once I show them on my next video on Thursday, probably Thursday, then they will be heading, well, actually, I'm going to need to do some, you know what, I need to send them off sooner than that, so I may do a special FFO thingy thing at some point here and show off all my little projects, and or just go ahead and film it and then include it in the video on Thursday. That's probably the best way to do it. So, trying to get some work done. I believe this Ronnie Rowe is going to get done in 2018. I really feel like it's going to get done. Considering where I know I was when I started this again this year, or restarted it. I feel like I'm making good enough progress that it's definitely going to get done. I would hope it would be done by like mid-year, so to speak. We'll see. But that's the goal. So I'm going to try and go kind of fast. Yeah, I could tell I messed that up in the back. You can feel that when you mess it up. Got the whole day to cross stitch. Pretty excited about that. Gonna watch some football. Yesterday I worked on Rainy Waterloo Place, and I still want to work more on it today. I want to get a little bit more done before I move on to something else. Husband is in the other bedroom wrapping presents. I need to wrap presents. We're going to go over to his friend's place, or our friend's place. His oldest friends live pretty close, which is awesome. And they have a big seafood boil on Christmas every year. And it is truly a complete and utter pig fest. So much food. It's just amazing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. We've already been out this morning. We got up, well, I got up about 7-ish, and he was already up, and we basically went to the store. Hold on. Went to the store and get some more supplies. Actually, not even for Christmas, just for the rest of the week. Just to be prepared. Must be prepared. So. I get confused as to where exactly my camera is on this phone. I've decreased my resolution, which I don't think you guys are going to be able to tell too much. And I do this periodically in an attempt to try to get the entire video in one shot, because my camera only lets me take so much at a time. And sometimes what happens when I try to do this is that for whatever reason, it splits up the video in like 5 pieces instead of just one. And I never know when that happens, unless I'm staring at the timer on the top of the screen. But we'll see. We'll see. No big deal. No big deal. Do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yikes. Yikes. Zoinkers. You can notice that occasionally my X's are not perfect. I'm okay with that. I really am. On this Ronnie Rowe piece, it's not that big of a deal. You do not have to be perfect. There's so many stitches to do. Trust me, the overall effect when you're looking at it, you can't even tell. It still looks amazing. Come here. My hands are dry. My hands are so dry. My thumb tried to crack again. A little bit. I put some of that Burt's Bees stuff on it. And but I only did it for like 2 days, and then now I'm trying to find it. I might have left it at work. So hopefully I find it here. Hold on, I'm just trying to find my place here. Where am I? There we go. But I think it does work. Seems like it, you know, usually my thumb gets worse. But I definitely feel like now I'm thinking it's dryness. It's pure dryness. I'm doing a lot of cross stitching, and I think my hands just get really dry. And I wash my hands a lot during the day, so. You know, I signed up for YouTube Red, which just for the free trial. It's like a 3-month free trial. YouTube Red is basically, you have access to, well, the thing that I love about it, and the reason why I decided to just go ahead and try it, was because you can download videos and then watch them offline. And I like to do that because I don't like the radio a whole lot. I don't listen to the radio, and coming home from work, and even though I have a short commute, I like to listen to something. So sometimes I'll just turn a video on YouTube, and which is bad because it uses up more data than I should use. And so I was like, let me try this YouTube Red thing, see if I stop using the data that I've been using, all the data I've been using. But I like having them downloaded, I do. Because depending upon, I was listening to, or watching and listening to some great YouTube videos last night about mega projects in the world. So it's like if you're building like a massive rail system, or if you're building a massive dam, or just all these different things that are going on, and it was pretty fascinating. And then I was watching the same people, I think it's called Wendover Productions, but very, very smart folks. And I was also watching, they were doing a mega cities series, and they were profiling like New York City, and then like Cairo, and no, I'm not going to remember, Bangladesh's largest city, and just, you know, discussing like what the biggest challenges for those megacities are. And oh, Mexico City was fascinating. And did I miss that? I'm going to redo this one. I don't think I missed it, but I don't feel like I put it in the right spot. There we go. And so, like Mexico City's issue was water. And they were talking about how way back hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when it was a thriving culture before the Europeans showed up, how they had, you know, like 250,000 people living in this place. They had like tremendous amounts of irrigation. They brought the water in from the rivers and whatnot. Whoa, dropped my highlighter. Hold on. And I dropped my, I'm just dropping everything. And I'm gonna highlight for a second, so I'm just gonna talk. And then when the conquistadors came in from Spain, they kind of decided they just wanted to tear everything up, take over, and, you know, so they kind of brought that civilization down like tremendously. And then and so Mexico City has struggled ever since with, they like filled in the irrigation system, and they, you know, destroyed a lot of the infrastructure that would bring water. Because, I mean, Mexico City is like 1.5 miles up or something ridiculous. It's the highest city, major city, you know, in elevation, if that made any sense. But it's pretty crazy. And get out of there. And so, I mean, so water flows downhill, so they have to actually bring the water to Mexico City, and they did that with a series of, I don't know, special irrigation type things, but they've never been able to catch up ever since all those things were destroyed, and especially all those decades and stuff they were subjugated. But so they just talk about how difficult it is for people in Mexico City. They spend so much money on just getting water. I don't know how current this particular show was. Like, I don't know how many years ago it was. I don't think it was too long ago, but I'm not sure how much of a situation it still is. But they said, you know, more than crime and whatnot, it literally was the access to water in that city. And it's just crazy. And like Cairo is fascinating because they're so heavily, densely populated in Cairo. Everybody wants to be there where all the jobs are and the people are and everything. But it's on a river delta, so it's softer soil, a lot softer soil than further out in the desert. And the problem comes, that wasn't very good, was it? Watch me just redo that right over it. There we go. See? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And they basically, they're like not allowed to, when they build buildings, they're like apartment buildings or whatever, they can't build them above, I think it's like 5 or 6 stories, because the weight of the building, anything higher than that, can't survive over time. And I guess they've had some major building collapses in the past that have sort of elucidated that reality. And so they just don't have a ton of space for everybody. And they have this like, they used to have, well, and maybe they still have, like a crazy situation with traffic and whatnot. But they built this amazing like underground rail system or whatever, or subway type system, and it's awesome. It's so awesome that everybody still wants to live there. So what they did was they started building these really nice places to live. Sort of, they want to create a suburb, have people move out into the suburbs and ease the congestion in the city. But the problem is they didn't build any awesome transportation options to get into Cairo. So nobody wants to live there because it's so hard to get into the city. So gotta think, man. Gotta think. Okay, I go fill this in. It always seems like the roads, in most places, the roads are the last thing to get done. It should be one of the first, we should plan it out so it's one of the first things that gets done, but oh well. another thing that I was watching, and this was more about massive projects in China and whatnot. And one of the things they brought up was what's the word? All the cars, basically. It said from 1985 to 2005. Say in 1985 there were like something like only like 19,000 cars in China. And what you saw was the rise of a lot of, oh wow, hold on, I'm just watching. There's like a bunch of dogs outside. People are walking with a bunch of dogs out in the park. That's kind of cool. I'm up on the second floor of my house, so whoa, was that a hawk? There was some snow last night. We got like an inch of snow. So semi-unexpectedly. I always love it when, like earlier in the week, the weather forecasters will say, okay, so on Saturday night, we're going to get some snow. And then by, say, Thursday, they're like, oh, no, we're not going to get snow now. There's like no chance we're going to get snow. And then Saturday night rolls around, we get snow. And so it's like, go with your gut feeling, man. Anyway, so in 1985, there were like 19,000 cars. And, you know, you had to be, I think, very well off to have a car. Hold on, I'm just checking this. But then they've had this explosion of a creation of a middle class in China, especially the urban areas and whatnot. You know, just a lot more jobs, income has gone up, people are able to buy more, and they basically have all bought cars at a tremendous rate. So in 2005, they went from, 1985, 19,000 cars, 2005, something like 50 million cars. So, I mean, that was tremendous improvement, and then, or tremendous increase. And then by, they say 2020, there's going to be like, I don't know, like 200 million cars or something like that on the road, and there's horrible congestion, blah, 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 blah. And we all know about the issues that they face there, but it's, I don't know, it's fascinating. I just like learning. That's why I do most of the time on YouTube. I don't watch cutesy videos usually. Used to, but nowadays I watch all educational stuff, and it's very, my brain is like, thank you. 31111. What did I do wrong? Uh-oh, what did I do wrong, guys? Hold on. Check. Okay. I gotta pause for, I'm not pausing the video. I'm just pausing my stitching because I'm a little off. Okay. I think I'm okay. I am okay. All right. I was just looking at the wrong thing. That's okay. But anyway, but there's so many cool things out there. What am I doing? Tell me, what am I doing? All right, I think I'm back on course here. We got some big, huge bones for the dogs that we got to pass out today. I'm going to wrap a couple of the big ones and film the unwrapping, see who gets it. I'm pretty sure the Golden Retriever will just tear everything up because she tears everything else up, so it would be ironic if she didn't tear up the new bone. wrapping. Okay. I do still need to find my glasses. Not my magnifiers. I've got my magnifiers, but they're big enough that I can't lose them. But my actual reading type glasses and whatnot. Ah, come here. Doesn't look terribly promising that I'll be able to get this undone. What shall we do? What shall we do? All right, so here's what I do. All right. I could sit here and try and finagle this, and who knows, maybe while I'm talking about it, I'll be able to actually get it, but odds are I won't. So that's a pretty big knot. I don't really want to pull it through and try to use up enough thread to where I can then just tuck it behind. I'm just going to tuck it behind now. So I've got my little loop here, a little tight loop, because I've pulled it through, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it over here so that I can tack it down from the other side. I can't believe the cat is in here with me when Dad is next door rustling around with plastic papers. Of course, he is sitting right next to the food bowl. I think he's hoping that I'm going to feed. I keep telling him I'm not the one that feeds you. I'm the one that does your litter box. We both make sure you have water, but Dad feeds you. That way we don't overfeed you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So, anyway. We were watching, my husband loves to watch like old classic Christmas specials on YouTube from like, Dean Martin's Christmas specials and Frank Sinatra and all this other stuff. And we were watching some of those last night. And then this morning we were watching, he had on, I don't know how he found it, but he had on Andrea Bocelli, the tenor, the famous opera singer and whatnot. And he was singing, and come on, Jules, it's this thing right here. See, it's that thing. It worked great until this point right here. It'll be fine. Watch it. We'll sneak it in. We'll sneak it. That'll be fine. So I don't even know like what, it might have been like the Kennedy Center music Christmas thing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it was, all right, we wanted to have Andrea Bocelli do a duet with someone, and we tried to find what is the most crazy duet that we could think of, most unique duet. So they brought out the Muppets, and they had the Muppets singing Jingle Bells with him, and it was funny. It was definitely funny. We're Muppet lovers here. We're pro Muppet. My husband definitely way more than me. He's such a kid at heart. Muppets and Charlie Brown. Okay. How far along does this one go? Oh, I see. And this. Got a little knot or something right there. I don't care. That's just the thing from the other piece. I'm never going to be able to tell. Oh, there it goes, and it went away. Yay! My knuckle itches. Dry hands, dry hands. La 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 la. This will be my husband's and mine's second Christmas together, which is awesome. As I'm, yeah, our second Christmas. Wait, let me think here. Yeah, we were together. We were married last Christmas. This is our second married Christmas. And then I'm all confused as to the timeline. I think we've been together total of 3 years in a few weeks, in like mid-January. It's the Martin Luther King weekend was when we had our first date. One, 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 two, one. One, one, one. One, one. One. One, one, one. One, one, one. Two. Tie this one off on here, like so. I found my scissors. I've got like 5 pairs of these little scissors somewhere around the house, and yet I can never find them anymore. I definitely keep losing them, which is never good. All right, I'm just gonna highlight off my stoof. Okay, now I gotta reload my needles. Reload. I'm not fond of the needle that I'm using right now because the eye is really small on both of the needles that I'm using because I didn't plan ahead properly. Oh, what? Oh, another needle with a small eye. I see. Ta-da! Hooray! Let's do. So now I'm gonna have Charlie Brown in my head, which is awesome. Charlie Brown theme in my head is just like a fantastic thing. Man, Mercury, I gotta tell you, buddy, you are stubborn, and he's just sitting there staring at his bowl, and he has been like that for a while. Oh, now he's yawning. He's like, it's going to happen. At some point, it's going to get filled. If I just sit here, it will happen. I don't think he has much of a sense of time passing. I guess, most cats don't, I suppose. The fish are doing well. everybody that's still alive. I think I might have mentioned in my last video, I got a new beta, or beta, however you want to say it. I don't care. It's a beautiful little white half crown tail or something like that. I've got the name of it somewhere. It really is gorgeous. It's very small right now. It's much smaller. It doesn't have nearly like the big long tail and that's why I got it, because it was so different. And a single white betta in about a 3-gallon tank, which is like my favorite. I could literally just fill my whole house up, I think, with bettas in 3-gallon tanks, because I just love giving them room to swim. If you ever, and I've said this before, but people say, hey, listen, bettas are great pets because they only need like a cup of water because they don't do anything. False. 100% false. Put them in a big tank, watch them explore. It is awesome. And if you see that, you'll always feel bad that they put them in these tiny little tanks. I mean, they can survive in these little tank things, but it doesn't mean that they should. And so I feel conflicted because I don't want to encourage, I don't want to buy them and people will be like, oh, we sold them, let's get some more and sell some more. I mean, I don't necessarily want to encourage them, but I do like the idea of rescuing these guys and giving them some decent homes with some entertainment. It's something to do. But I enjoy watching them. So this little tiny little white half crown, blah, 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 we're calling her Leia. So, what's up, Merc? You want to get out? No, he wants to play with this thing on the floor. And, so it's pretty cool. She's just in there by herself right now. She doesn't need, I mean, females are not as aggressive as the males, so you can put other fish in with them. But I'm just going to let her be by herself for a while because it's not a very big tank, and I don't know if I will put anybody else in, but we'll see. But she does enjoy her environment, which I think is awesome. That's why we do it. So let's see what else is going on. I'm gonna delay getting a new fish for the aquarium, for the saltwater aquarium, for just a little bit longer. I want to make sure that I get this coral up and thriving a little better, and which I'm still experimenting on light levels and feeding and just different things, and it's doing all right. It's hanging in there. And but I want to find something that I'm going to really enjoy and not be super shy and hide for 10 days and then come out and die right away. That was just depressing. The axolotl got a new little cave. Got a larger cave for him for his tank. I need to do a video on him. I need to find a better way to video him because he's so dark. It's so hard to see him. But he's doing awesome. Should do another feeding video or something with him. So tonight we watch Christmas Eve tradition. We watch my favorite movie and we watch his favorite movie. His favorite movie is Polar Express, which I do love. And my favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life, which I've probably seen 100 times. And I gotta make sure I stay awake for that. Polar Express just puts me to sleep in a good way. It's very comforting. And I don't know, just very comforting. Let me just go back and do that over. Right there. Totally fine. Where am I? What did I do? What have I done? Here we go. If you guys are new to my channel, I thank you for coming along and subscribing. Got a ton of new subscribers in the last month. I did finally cross that crazy 1,000 subscriber threshold, which just seems ridiculous, but pretty awesome. So thank you all, especially those real crazy ones that have been with me for a very long time. You know who you are, Sharon. But where am I? See, now I get thrown off. What am I doing? Where am I going? 1, 2, 1, 2. Kind of a little excited for football today. We'll see. I don't really have any stakes in the game or anything, but we are getting down towards the playoffs, so that's good. Me likey that. More excitement. I whistle sucking in. Do you guys whistle blowing out? I whistle sucking in. That's how I learned, and I'm very bad at. That's me blowing out, trying to whistle. That's about as good as it gets. I probably could practice and it would be better, but it's about as good as it gets. Oh, so check it out. My awesome husband. So his friends who have kids, they're now like 16 and 13, I think, are their ages. And for all their lives, he has, whenever he's given them gifts, like birthdays or Christmas or whatnot, he always does this elaborate wrapping thing, like ridiculous elaborate wrapping thing. Now, unfortunately, since I came along, I have taken away his attention, so he no longer puts in the time that he used to. However, that being said, see, this year the kids were like, oh, we just want gift cards, gift cards or money or whatever. And so we're like, all right, we'll do that. You can get that. But he had an extra level of difficulty to it. So he got a couple of like, they're puzzle boxes or Enigma boxes. And there's like a little secret compartment inside of them. And so he put their stuff inside of that secret compartment. And so if they want their stuff, they're going to have to figure out how to get it out. So I've already worked on it. One only took me about a minute. The other one took me about 5. But we'll see, because when you get your level of frustration up, you don't think as clearly. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes them to figure it out. And then that has set us on a puzzle box jag that we are still on in terms of I went and got a couple of puzzles to work on because I think they're fun. I always get like the most difficult ones though, because I'm like, well, you know, it may take me my entire life and I may never get it, but we'll see. But it's cool because it teaches you to think in a different way. So that's part of the reason why I like it, because it trains my brain a little different. Okay. Almost done with this section, guys. Almost done with this section. Okay. Ooh, it's a little chilly in this room. Ooh, didn't realize it until just now. Get a little chilly chill. All right, I need a couple more. So this pattern is pretty straightforward, and because I said it's just, you know, it's black thread, blah blah blah, and the way that they actually label across the top. Let me do it in a way that you can't see the pattern, but they do it like MarketSquare Tavern, duh. So they do it like each grid is like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is page 3, and it goes to 16 on this one. Whoop, 16 on this one. And so I am at, let me pull it down. So I'm at 11 at the top part. At the top part here. So in more like about 9 along here or whatever. But I think once I finish this, I think I'm gonna come up here and do a bunch more because it's very dense up here. And but I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I could, you know, another couple months I could definitely finish this page and then the last page, and bada bing bada boom. I think that would be pretty snazzy. I mean, it's easily my closest thing here. My closest thing. Oh, I don't know if you just heard that gigantic back pop. I'm like Rice Krispie treat, or having Rice Krispies. I just crackle and pop all over. It's kind of a good thing. I prefer to do that than not pop. Not popping is when you're locked up. That's not good. Yikes, get in there. Ah! I'm hitting everything. So, vet Christmas story, I'll tell you. My funniest vet Christmas story. And this goes way back. This is like 30-year-old story. I had my first job was in this gigantic animal hospital 3 decades ago that had like 7 doctors and, I mean, just ridiculous amounts of staff. It was just so busy, so crazy. And we had this massive kennel that was attached to the hospital. And on a Christmas weekend, when you're trying to maximize, you know, pulling in as many as you can, we could hold up to about 400 animals. And there was about 6 of us that would work at any one particular time. So as a part-timer, you always work the weekends, you always work the holidays and whatnot. But The other thing that we were required to do was we would also be responsible for going up into rooms with the doctors and holding on to the animals for them while they did their exams. And so this one particular time, I had to go up front. It was right around Christmas time. I had to go up front and help out, and they wanted to kind of trot the dog up and down the hallway outside of their 7 exam rooms. And hold on, stand by. And trot them up and down and whatnot. And so I did, and I went up and down and up and down. And the last time I went back down the hallway, I decided to go backwards because I kind of wanted to see what they were looking at. Hold on. Where am I? That's what happens when you don't highlight as you go and you get confused. All right, here we go. And so, so I started trotting backwards with the dog, and I wasn't paying attention. And I basically ran backwards into the massive, like, I would say 12-foot tall Christmas tree, live Christmas tree, that was in the hallway that I had forgotten about. I took the whole thing down, me on top of it. I don't even remember what happened to the dog. I know the dog was fine, but I knocked the water over, all the decorations went and scattered everywhere. Yeah. I have a propensity for, when I was younger, making a fool of myself. And that was definitely a memorable, foolish moment. But everything was fine in the end. And thankfully, I was always such a good worker that, it wasn't that big of a deal. Just push the chair, or, have to get like 3 people to get the tree back up, and then I spent the next like half hour cleaning up. And so, but ow, see, telling stories and I poked myself. Oh, gee whiz. Sorry, I'm sorry if I scared you on that. Hope you didn't poke yourself when I poked myself from just the blah. But okay. Bum 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 bum. Well, I am getting close to being done. We'll have to see if this actually worked. As far as bringing everything down, resolution down to the point where can get this whole video on this one take, which just saves me so much time, and gets the video up a lot faster. So I hope it did work. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and say hasta la pasta, happy holidays. I'll see you guys on Thursday, and you get to see all my new videos. And the cat is telling me that, yep, now he wants out. So he knows it's over too. He's like, well, he thinks I didn't talk about him enough, but however, it's all good. All right, let's do that. Let's end here, and I'm going to finish up this little bit and then do a little bit more, I think, up top here before I see you guys on Thursday. And anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Boxing Day, Happy Kwanzaa, and everything else that I've forgotten in the meantime. Stay warm, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.